Alright. If I know my boy Aaron, he is on Murktide. And it
Looks like it.
Looks like he is. Sorry guys, let me get the interface updated. There we go. And it's round 2. Todd Anderson, big fan of wings, etc. Yeah, Todd and Ross said they really liked eating that wings. They ate there basically 3 days in a row. It's basically the only restaurant in not only restaurant, only bar, only like grill and bar in Caldwell, so and it was right by their hotel, so it was walking distance for them. You met Jonathan when he lives here in Idaho. Nice to see he's playing good format skin. What was he playing in Idaho?
Probably Legacy.
So that I know Jonathan likes Legacy. He went up to the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy tournament. Ragavan connecting. One thing about Ragavan living in is like, yeah, your Ragavan's gonna get in a lot. It's one of the matchups where your Ragavan will connect the most, but it's also one of the matchups where they basically have nothing you really want to cast with Ragavan. Until you get to the point where you're like, okay, I have 4 treasures now. Sure, let's go ahead and cast this Curator. Like, and that's what Aaron's gonna do. He's just gonna jam the Curator. Because why not? I think you said there weren't any non-standard stores. Like playing the format standard, or what do you mean? All right, John's just gonna jam Shardless Agent. Yeah, we don't play standard really. It just won't fire if we try it. We tried to make standard work for a while. Grief. Take your unholy heat, take your Murktide. This is looking really rough for Aaron. Oh, that's not what I meant to hit, sorry. Okay, I'm panicking. I thought I was on a different screen on the stream deck. I'm so sorry, I just hit like so many buttons. Just wanted to see the face cams. Alright. Pop's Islet, untap draw. 2 unknowns in Aaron's hand. To have any possible way. Aaron's at 10, by the way. Dash Ragavan. Sure. There's a land. Cycle and Architects of Will, I think's the name of that card. It's got an Outburst. Outburst is not quite lethal. It would. Oh, it is. I'm trolling. Yeah, 2 Griefs and a Shardless 8 plus 3 from Violent Outburst. Who knew Outburst was such a broken Anthem effect? Aaron might have a removal spell for one of the. Nope, that's an island. Well, he does have a treasure he could crack. Spell Pierce the Outburst. Okay. Smart by Aaron. Lets him go all the way through the Cascade trigger. Oh, I mean, of course you would. And Spell Pierce that Outburst to stay alive at 1. Still don't know if there's any possible draw that gets Aaron out of this. Because even... we know he has Ragavan in hand. Guess it would be Iteration into Bolt. Bolt. Play Ragavan. I don't think he has enough mana for that. All right, turn 1 Relic from Aaron. That's gonna get a Force of Negation out of John. John, probably gonna cycle here. No threats from Aaron. Just passing the turn, and John's fetching on instep here, I'm assuming. It's Breeding Pool. Cycle a Curator of Mystery. That is a Grief. Evoke Grief. Pitch a Living End. Aaron tanking might just want to counter that Grief possibly. Protect his hand. Gonna fire off Counterspell. I mean, if you left 2 mana up to do, to hold up Counterspell, you might as well fire it off on that Grief because, wow, John has Dispute. That's pretty brutal. Aaron on Fury, consider another Counterspell and a Jace the Mind Sculptor. You're going to take the other Counterspell. That kind of indicates to me that John probably has a Cascader. Oh, wow, John missed land drop, though. Aaron finds his land drop. Gonna cast Consider on end step. A little surprised by not just casting the Consider main phase there, because if you find a, like a Shredder or a Ragavan, you could just jam it that turn. And you're not hiding any info because he knows your hand. Chalice on 0. No response from John. Cast the Jace, it gets Mystical Disputed. John not only has to find lands, has to find a way to deal with Chalice. Does find a land. Foundation Breaker? Nope. Pass. Aaron, draws for turn. Passes. John, draw for turn. Third land.
Surprised he didn't bounce the Chalice.
Sky Turtle only can bounce a creature.
It's only creature?
Yep.
I thought it was artifact too.
I don't think so. Let me pull it up. Target creature.
Oh, it is target creature.
There's a Ragavan. Might be channeling it now to bounce the... Oh, just hard cast an Endurance here. Endurance resolves, it's going to block. Another Ragavan, dash it in. It's a Street Wraith off the top. Cannot cast or cycle it. I wonder if John holds back with this endurance now, or if he continues to beat down. He's gonna get in. Doesn't really care about that Ragavan, or he has an answer to it. He does have Sky Turtle in hand still, so. Gotta be afraid of another endurance of your Aaron here, since he attacked with the first one. Or attacked with the one that was on the board when he knows you have Ragavan. Just takes 2. Force of negation. Sky Turtle's other channel ability to get back a creature from the graveyard. Gets back a Curator. Just gonna cycle it again. This is kind of a weird way to turn, Sky Turtle into a cantrip. To dig a little deeper here. Try to find. I think he's still short on a Cascader and a way to kill Chalice, but I could be wrong there. Might just be on the probably just on the cast curator plan here now. Yeah, I'm seeing that he got basic force there, which means he had no intention of cycling the curator, which makes a lot of sense at this point. You can just cast it, and you have to fight through Chalice plus actually find a Cascader for to get it back out of the graveyard. And does have counterspell. John not willing to attack now. All right. Aaron, we know one card's Ragavan. JTMS resolves. Brainstorm. I'd have to imagine that Fury is going to get evoked to deal with that endurance. Since we picked Brainstorm. Evoke Fury pitching Ragavan. Cycle Striped Riverwinder. Finds a land. Striped Riverwinder is 6. Yeah, so John was 1 mana short of just casting that Riverwinder and then cycles it and finds the land he was short on. Probably feels a little bad. You would have liked to have had a hexproof 5/5 creature there. Next turn. Anyone know what the last card in John's hand is?
No idea.
Brainstorm with the Jace, play a fetch land, attack with Ragavan. His Violent Outburst. Could see that cast. Nope. And say if Aaron knows what's on top of his deck from the Brainstorm, could be from the J0, it could be a good Violent Outburst, but decides not to cast it. Gonna shuffle those top cards away instead. Cash Ragavan again. Get in for 2. Hit John down to 3. See DRC. Oh, there's just Bolt in hand. Okay, cast DRC first. Pass the turn. And John picks him up. So it doesn't help. It just fuels confirmation bias. If you're like, maybe 3 times in a row when you mulligan a hand, you should mulligan, and then you look and you're like, dang, the land was there. And it's like, well, now you're fueling confirmation bias that, oh, maybe I need to keep those, and you shouldn't be keeping those. Like it. Always look and regret it every time.
I mean, I guess that's where your experience in the game influences your decisions to maul. Because it's like, I'll look at a hand, be like, I don't think I can do this. Somebody will look at my hand and be like, maybe, like, they probably would have kept it, but I wouldn't.
Right.
But it's like, I don't want to be like most Magic players. I'm just like, I'll just maul it to begin with and just proceed.
Yeah. I feel like with I don't know, mulligans are tough. All right, anyways, drawing up to 3 lands here, but only 1 cycler in the yard this far, but does have endurance in hand, which might put a hurting on this Ragavan. Not sure if Aaron's holding up any counters here or not. John has Dispute, but does not have the mana to Endurance plus Dispute. Might just want to bait a counterspell here anyways and get Endurance in his yard. Probably doesn't care that much. Yeah, because I see Shardless Dispute. So I think John's pretty okay with getting that Endurance in his yard. Maybe needed that land though. I'm not sure if he's got 4th land. Pretty sure that's Shardless plus Dispute. Pretty sure his hand is Shardless Dispute Sky Turtle. Drew a land. This is probably the best living in you're gonna get for the time being. Best opportunity anyways. Goes for it. I think his only creatures are Street Wraith Endurance.
That's what it looks like.
Cast Living In. You have an answer, Mr. Taylor. Nope. Living In resolves. Tuck your graveyard. Put 2, 3, 4 bodies into play. And has Dispute up here. And jams the DRC. Might have accidentally dropped his JTMS there. Fiery Islet takes damage, plays another DRC. And just passes. get in for 8. Consider 2 surveil triggers. Aaron has so much card selection here. Graveyard. Graveyard. 2 out of 4, actually 3 out of 4 all the way to Delirium here. John, after seeing the surveils, decides to dispute that consider. Doesn't want to risk Delirium coming online here. And it might just be the only window for his dispute to really matter with all the treasures and stuff Aaron has. So it looked like Aaron just took the 8. Goes to his turn. Iteration. Trigger. This will turn on Delirium. So this is actually a 2-turn clock, and it's in favor of Aaron at the moment. See if John has anything to change the clock. Another endurance would be insane. Unless Aaron finds counter magic. Bottom that one. Exile, Chalice. Chalice is okay, but I feel like we're a little bit past the living in mattering too much at this point. But gonna go ahead and cast it and get a couple more surveil triggers. Leaves it on top, I think.
He knows what's on top, so I think he's just leaving it there.
How does he know what's on top?
From his... Oh, I don't know, because he did expressive iteration.
Yeah, I don't think he knows. He looked at it and he just left it there. So he liked whatever it was. Endurance does have reach to possibly block one of those if he leaves it untapped. But that's a big Murktide. John with Street Wraith, Living End, and Agent in hand. Charlotte's Agent, I think. But Aaron has turned off Delirium for himself with that Murktide. So he's got to try to find it again here. It's a creature in the yard. Leaves it on top. Gonna resolve iteration. And exile bottom. So that's gonna get a land in the yard and a sorcery. 3/4 of the way to Delirium. And getting Delirium this turn probably just wins the game. Because I'm pretty sure John doesn't have much. Doesn't have a way to get Delirium, I'm guessing here. Just attacks with Murktide, forces John to chump with Endurance. John's able to cycle Street Wraith since he didn't die that turn. Cycle Street Wraith, cycle Street Wraith. Dead the boat anyways, might as well cycle it. Cycle Striped Riverwinder. Basically, John has to find a way to blow up that Chalice plus a Cascader, which I think he has the Cascader. Waker Waves, top 2. Outburst was one of them. Did he find like Force of Vigor or something? It's really his only out, I think. Would be Force of Vigor plus green card plus having Cascader. Gonna cast Outburst, maybe we're Chalice checking.
I think he's doing it to get his +1. Because...
I mean, yep.
Or just skips.
Alright, Aaron taking it down on Murktide. Aaron off to a 2-0 start. Pretty clean game from both players, I think, there.